Welcome to this Guru Purnima celebration at our mission. We just had such melodious music that I don't know what to say after that. The best way to show our devotion to the Guru is by these means: music, stuti, stuff. I will just be discussing a few points because it's a very special day, Guru Purnima. The Guru is all in all for the sadhak, provided we are sadhaks. The Guru assumes such an important place in the life of sadhana that is why there is one special day reserved so that we can pay our obeisance, our heartfelt devotion to those who take us deep into the spiritual path, who show us the very purpose of human life, who are able to raise our energies to another level, who clear our minds and who show us the way. Because without this kind of an influence falling on us, which Vivekananda called the quickening impulse, the soul will go into slumber. We will sleep through life and we won't mind it. Tamas will come over us. Only the Guru Shakti, the real spirit of renunciation and knowledge, awakens the soul. So that is why Guru Purnima is so important. Guru is all in all. And it is not a relationship that terminates with death, fall of the body. This is an eternal relationship with the Guru. Family is body-based relationship. Friendships and other relationships are also body and mind-based. But the relationship with the Guru is soul-based. It is something of the soul. So it continues eternally. And the greatest influence of the Guru lies in the transformation of our energies. Today we are in such a condition, we don't even understand the nature of our energy. What I keep saying, Pran Shakti, vitality, Chit Shakti, many of us are insensitive to it. We understand body and mind and intellect because we are always thinking, but we don't understand anything by energy. But it's your vitality that manifests as mind, and the Guru lifts this vitality in us. Our own vital energies scattered in different things of the world, the Guru brings it together and lifts it to God. He shows a direction to that energy. That energy then manifests as a beautiful spiritual mind, a clear mind, a pure mind, a mind endowed with devotion and knowledge. So please remember this, in all our Shastras, this is given. Mind is only the highest manifestation of your vital energy. And the Guru works at this mool dhara, this basic energy. The vitality within us is lifted. So he who imparts the great mantra into our ears, he is the Guru. You may have a number of Upagurus, but remember, he who has given you the mantra is your supreme Guru. He is your eternal guide. Any number of births we may have, he will come back to lift our soul. He is always with us. It is only by his grace and his power, his or her, whomever you are initiated with, that energy is going to lift you to the highest. So let us have this deep, unshaking Shraddha within us. There is no other way for the common human mind. Please know this. We require such people. They are not mere teachers. They are transformers of our energy. They are inspirers of our minds. So the Guru Shakti is supreme. It is next only to God. In fact, in our spiritual tradition, the Guru is worshipped first and then God. You know the famous Doha. If Guru and Ishtam are standing in front of me, first I will bow down to the Guru because he was the way to the Ishtam. So please remember this, many of you are initiated and you have had a mantra diksha. The mantra is the direct way in which energies can be transformed towards the highest. And this mantra Shakti comes from the Guru. Because if you just chant any mantra you have picked up from the internet, it will not have the same effect. It should come from a living, powerful Guru, an enlightened mind. then only it has the effect. Because if you have studied Mantra Shastra, you will know how it works. The video is available on YouTube if you are interested. All about Japa in the video. The Vachak Shakti of the mantra is entirely the Guru Shakti. And the Chit Shakti is my practice of the mantra. So when these two combine, realization happens. So the Guru Shakti is tremendous in the life of the sadhak. And the Japa mantra is the way towards, the method given by the Guru to reach the divine. So please remember, you have a Guru and you have a method in your hands. Now what I make of it is how my spiritual life will be. Not just this, spiritual elevation is the first paramount work which the Guru does. But the Guru also removes obstacles from our lives. Many of us do not have the avsar for sadhana, or the mind simply doesn't turn within. It's too scattered and we're too busy with many things. The inspiration of the Guru brings the energies into focus. That is one of the most important works which the Guru does for us. He brings our entire attention and energy into focus. He inspires us from within. And he provides the essential energy required to remove obstacles. When you have a Guru, a saint in your life, you are saved. If you have a spiritual inspiration in your life, automatically the mind will remain at a certain level. The sanskar will come into our homes, it will go into our children. You know, when I was in Vrindavan, I even heard Premananji Maharaj saying this: you must have a saint in your life. It protects you it protects your mind, it protects you in a way I can't describe. So the Guru fulfills all these things for us, all these conditions. The more Guru Bhakti we'll have, Bhagwan reach jayenge usse. God will be happy with us if we have this Guru Bhakti. And if we take these things lightly, we remove the sacred from our lives. What else remains? You know very well. There's hardly anything worth. So cling to the Guru, cling to the Guru Shakti. Let us have this great Bhakti for the Guru. And let me also tell you some incidents, how the Guru's influence works on the disciple. Incidents like this are replete in our spiritual heritage, in our scriptures. One or two incidents I can tell you from Ashtavakra Gita, which we have been studying at Bangla, or I can tell you even from the Bhagavad Gita, how the Guru Shakti works. But I would like to mainly go into Sri Ramakrishna's life to describe the Guru Shakti. In Ashtavakra Gita, you have this very beautiful incident. You know, Ashtavakra is a realized sage. He's sitting under a tree and he's very young. He's hardly 16. And Janak Maharaj, who's, that time not just the king of Mithila, he was the king of the whole of North India. And he's riding into the forest and he suddenly sees he's lost his way. Everybody has gone in some particular direction and Janak has gone somehow in a different direction. And he lands up right in front of Ashtavakra. As soon as he looks at Ashtavakra, Janak says, "Who is this and why have I come here?" And Ashtavakra opens his eyes and says, "I brought you here because you are ripe. You are deserving of this knowledge, Brahma Vidya, and I can deliver it to you. That is why I drew your soul here." And Janak says, "What? What did you say?" And all he did was he tried to get off the horse. He removed one foot from the horse and the other is still on the stirrup. And at that moment he had complete enlightenment just by the presence of Ashtavakra. The presence of an enlightened master has the deepest impact on the fertile human mind. The presence of an illumined soul has the greatest impact on our vital energies. Please know this for certain. Janak was so ripe because all his life was Nishkam Seva. The mind had become completely ripe. It went directly to realization. His foot is still on the stirrup. And when he gets down, he falls at the feet of Ashtavakra. And he says, "Master, what did you do to me?" And Ashtavakra says, "You were ripe, so I immediately had you brought here." This is how Guru Shakti works. It is not a matter of words. It is not a matter of concepts and ideas. All that you can do on YouTube. Guru Shakti is direct proximity with the living presence of the enlightened mind. Because I told you it's an energy transaction. It works on your energies and inspires your mind to the highest level. In Sri Ramakrishna's life, you will find so many such incidents. The direct transmission of Guru Shakti. One incident particularly comes to my mind. That is, Sri Ramakrishna once was looking at Swami Niranjanananda. So Niranjan Maharaj was a young man sitting in front of him, and Sri Ramakrishna is looking at him very deeply like this. And suddenly he sees the rightness of that soul. Niranjananji Maharaj was classified as the Vishwar Kotis of Sri Ramakrishna. So he sees into his soul and he says, "Show me your tongue." And Sri Ramakrishna writes something on his tongue. Shakti Pat, direct transmission of power. Immediately the Ajapa Japa rises in Niranjan's heart. It's continuously reverberating. He is not doing japa. The japa mantra is just rising within him. So continuously he goes into a trance-like state. Now he goes home, like Swamiji's Nirvikalpa experience, he's hardly able to make his way. He goes home for 3 days and 3 nights. This japa is continuously going on. Ajapa japa, continuous mantra, reverberation within him. And then he starts seeing light all around. Like so many fireflies, he describes it like that. Thousands of fireflies as if all around me, all the time. And no sleep at night. The mantra is continuously going on, reverberating. Everything seems to be vibrating with that mantra. At this state, when he attains this state, Niranjanaji Maharaj sees the fulfillment of his spiritual life then and there. He has realized the Atman. He has come into complete awareness. And the mantra is non-stop going on automatically, although he is not doing anything. Then fourth day morning, he comes back to Sri Ramakrishna and he says, "What did you do to me?" And Sri Ramakrishna says, "This is Ajapa Japa. This is the fulfillment of Japa." When the mantra spontaneously comes from within your heart and absorbs you completely, and the complete illumination of the self is felt in the heart. So you see, direct Shakti Path, the experience has been given. So many such incidents are there in Sri Ramakrishna's life. Rakhar Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda, was so close to Sri Ramakrishna, he used to take it for granted. He was the spiritual son of Thakur, Rakhar. So once he comes to Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Ramakrishna says, "Please press my feet, they are paining a little." And Rakhar says, "Nah," because he is the son. So he doesn't want to do it. Then Thakur says, "Are koro. You don't know, sadhu sange immediate fall ache. Immediately you will get the fruit of sadhu sang." Okay, then Rakhar Maharaj sits and starts pressing Thakur's feet. Suddenly he sees Mother Kali in the form of a young girl, 8 years old. She is moving around Thakur. She is circumambulating, Pradakshin kar rahi hai. She's going around Thakur. And Rakhar Maharaj is so stunned. What is this happening? He's pressing Thakur's feet and seeing Mother going all around. And then thrice she goes around Thakur and she merges into Thakur. At once Rakhar Maharaj falls at Thakur's feet and starts crying, and he is completely dumb. He can't say anything. Such an overwhelming experience of Sagun Sakar Brahman. And then Thakur touches his head and says, "See, I told you the immediate fruit of Sadhu Seva, Sadhu Sang." This was Thakur. At another point of time, he just says, "Look, this is your Ishtam and this is your mantra." And actually, Rakhar Maharaj saw his Ishtam and his mantra. This immediate transmission of spiritual power, that is what the Guru does. In our case, it may be very slow because many times our minds are not prepared. So a mantra is given. Gradually we rise to that level. But Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swamiji, the Holy Trio, is capable of giving immediate spiritual experience if we are ready. This transformation of consciousness is the greatest blessing we get from the Guru. Let me tell you another incident here. Even for those of us who feel we are just gone cases, very difficult to get anything of this kind. Because we are so entrenched in worldliness and the mind is all the time scattered and running about everywhere. Even we have hope. When there is a guru, there is always hope. I will tell you the story of Kalipada. Kalipada Ghosh. Many of you may know it. So he was a Bohemian like Girish. He was Girish's friend actually. So Kalipada had tormented his wife for many years. He was a big drunkard, always drunk and beating his wife. And for almost 12 years, the wife, it was a big tapasya for her. In fact, before that time, when he started insolently behaving with her, she had come to Thakur and asked for help. And Thakur sent her to Mother, Holy Mother, Shri Sharda Devi. And back and forth it went for some time, 3 times actually. They sent her to each other, and then mother gives her a pale leaf with Thakur's name written on it and says, Mother, keep this in your home and chant his name. This obstacle will go from your life. So this lady does that, and gradually Kalipada's mind starts changing. Then one fine day he lands up in Thakur's room. He has come to Dakshineshwar Kali temple by himself, which is such a rare thing. He's always in his wayward ways, but today he has come, he sits before Sri Ramakrishna and is looking at Sri Ramakrishna. Thakur was in a state of bhav samadhi, ecstasy. Please observe this incident carefully. But after some time, Sri Ramakrishna comes back to normal consciousness and now he is looking at Kalipada. Kalipada, strong, wasted sanskars. So immediately he says, do you have something for me to drink? He wants drink. And Thakur says, well, here you will get a different kind of drink, but it's very powerful. It's very powerful. You won't be able to stand it. Then Kalipada says, is it English wine? Sri Ramakrishna says, no, more powerful than that. It's purely desi. Manufactured here. Then Kalipada shamelessly says, give me that drink which will keep me intoxicated forever. And Sri Ramakrishna gets up, goes to him and touches him. One touch does. Kalipada is gone. Some other person has come into that place. And so transformed was he, tears started flowing from his eyes. And he started saying, Kriyana, what did you do to me? Complete transformation at that point. However, we have a whole silo of sanskars. So in Kalipada's case also, although he had this experience, a lot of transformation happened. He went back home and thought, how did this happen to me? Who am so strong-minded? Maybe I suffered something in his presence. It's a very powerful presence, Thakur's presence. So gradually, he just to, test himself, he even took up drink. He went back to drink. Then after a few days, he realized what an experience I had and what a life I'm leading. How can I do this? So let me again catch hold of that man. And somehow, Tini Amar Uddhar Karta, he alone can save me. So he again comes back to Sri Ramakrishna in a boat. Observe this incident also, it's very beautiful. So when he comes to Dakshineshwar, many of you have been there, so the boat is tied up and he climbs the steps and comes to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is in his room and talking to Latu Maharaj. They were planning to go to Kolkata that day, so they were looking for a boat. And Kalipada at once takes the opportunity and says, oh, you want a boat? I have a boat. Come with me. So they say, okay. And Thakur takes mother's name, Jai Ma, and he goes to the boat. Now he is sitting comfortably in the boat with Latu and Kalipada now sits in front of him. As soon as the boat sets sail and it's in the middle of the Ganga, Kalipada signals to the boatman to stop the boat. So in those days it was only those boats, So at once it is stopped and then he dives and falls at Thakur's feet and catches hold of those feet and says, you must save me, Thakur. You don't know how corrupt I am, how wicked I am. You don't know. And Thakur says, take mother's name and you will be saved. And Kalipada doesn't leave. See, this is the key he is giving us. He doesn't leave Thakur's feet. He says, no, you do not know my mind, Thakur. There's no sin I have not committed. You must save me. I have no other way. Then Thakur says, okay, I will write something on your tongue. Thakur writes a mantra on his tongue and says, now even if you don't do japa, japa will happen automatically. Still Kalipada is not satisfied. He says, no, you promise me that at the moment of death, you will come and hold me by my right hand and take me with you. You give me this promise. Because you don't know, after I go from here to Kolkata, I will again get corrupted. My friends are like that. Everybody around me is like that. So I'm a terrible sinner, Thakur. Your mantra also will fall short. You give me this promise, this assurance that at the last moment you will come and catch me by my hand. You will come with a lantern in your hands, so I will see light, because at that moment I will see only darkness otherwise. And you will catch me by my hand and take me with you. And he wouldn't leave his feet. Thakur ultimately put his hand on his head and said, the past, so will it be. And at the last moment this actually happened. Kalipada's entire life is recorded because he and Girish work very closely and all their lives are well recorded. At the last moments of Kalipada's life, he was in deep pain, but suddenly his face, at the moment of death, his face just lit up. And Sri Ramakrishna's name started coming. Thakur Tumi Escho, you have come. And he lifted his right hand. And happily, with a glow on his face, he left with Thakur. Guru Shakti, the power of the Guru, it cannot be described. At the last moment, only this will come to our aid. Only this Shakti will work in our lives. We are not sensitive to Shakti, so we do not understand this power of the Guru. This energy is infallible in its effect. And so if we have been initiated into this order, if this mantra has come into our lives, if we have taken their lives as ideal, then you can be sure that this Shakti will work for you. All that is required is this kind of a devotion. See, however bad they were in personal lives, before Sri Ramakrishna, they were absolutely devoted. In his presence, they just held on to his feet. They clung to him. Even Girish was like this. So there is hope for everybody. This is the whole point. In Sri Ramakrishna's presence, thousands of people were transformed just by the presence. Today we are looking into his words. We go into the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. However, just the Guru's presence has tremendous impact on the mind. It can transform our lives. And in Sri Ramakrishna's presence, there used to be Bhav Samadhi right where he was sitting. It was produced in the heart of everyone who sat in that hall. And everyone felt that elevation, that inspiration, that complete transformation of energy. Swami Vivekananda used to say, as one molds objects out of clay, wet clay, Sri Ramakrishna could mold minds. He could change sanskars. He could immediately give spiritual experience. And that is why I want to read this portion of Sri Ramakrishna's life. Sri Ramakrishna as Guru. It is there in his traditional life and also in Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play, Swami Chaitanyananda Maharaj's book. So I would like to read out that portion, what happened in Sri Ramakrishna's just mere presence. And it will inspire us to really hold on to the Guru like this. And then only it is some kind of spiritual transformation is possible. Please pay attention to this. When Sri Ramakrishna was under the influence of extraordinary divine power and had become its instrument, the master by mere touch could put someone into samadhi or into deep meditation or make a person intoxicated with divine bliss. By means of a mysterious spiritual power, he could remove the impurities from a person's mind so completely that the latter would immediately achieve deep concentration. Not just concentration, but deep inner purity and bliss to the extent that he or she had never experienced such a thing before. The experience would come then and there. Such a devotee would then consider himself or herself to be blessed and would surrender to the master forever. When we saw the master at such a time, we felt that he was no longer the lowliest of the lowly, as he would portray himself, he would present himself like that, as if he is completely without any ego. But everyone felt that he was possessed by a divine power that willfully or playfully manifested itself within him and made him perform those actions. He was then indeed a guru, a savior, and a guide to the path of God for those helpless human beings who were blinded by ignorance, afflicted by miseries, and sickened by worldly disease. When they observed this aspect of the Master, the devotees called him Guru. Although it may appear to be contradictory, in this age we have actually seen within Sri Ramakrishna the coexistence of two moods, the humble mood of a true devotee and the divine mood of a true spiritual teacher. Both these moods existed in him. He showed the mood of a sadhak, he showed the mood of a guru also. So we belong to this tradition. See, it is very good to have a home tradition. I know many of you are studying Advaita Vedanta, you are studying the scriptures, you are studying a whole lot of things. Many of us also come from Vaishnava traditions. But it is very, very, very beautiful and profound to have a home tradition, a mantra you can go back to, a mantra which you deepen, a nishtha which brings, blossoms forth in our lives through devotion, through practices. It is very important to have a home tradition and a personal mantra. It is very important to have a daily spiritual practice. Then only spiritual progress is possible. So for those of us who have really come into this tradition, please know it is a great blessing. It is one of the greatest blessings of our life. In this wayward world where you can easily get lost into so many things. This is, he is really the Karnadhar. He is the helmsman of our boat crossing through these oceans of transmigratory existence, and he alone can bring peace, bliss, and fulfillment into our lives. On this very sacred day of Guru Purnima, let us pay our heartfelt homage, obeisance at his feet, and commit ourselves to us, the spiritual path we have taken up, to the mantra, to the practice of the mantra, spiritual practice, which is most important. And in this way, we will be offering our complete devotion to the Guru Shakti. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai.